¿Qué tal amigos? ¿Cómo están? Bienvenidos una vez más al canal. El día de hoy se pone muy bueno. Tenemos a Ray Lu. Él es el CEO de BitCountry y bueno, es uno de mis proyectos, como les he dicho, favoritos, ya que está muy enfocado al metaverso y dentro del ecosistema de Polkadot y Kusama. Entonces, hoy nos va a platicar qué trae todo este proyecto. Hello, Ray. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming for the channel. I know the community will be very excited to hear from you.
Thanks, Matthew. Hello, everyone. It's my great pleasure to be here talking to the Spanish community and also talk to Matthew. You guys are running a great community and on YouTube and Twitter. So good job.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. So you're in New Zealand right now, right?
Yeah, we in New Zealand. I live in Auckland. Most of our team are actually based here in New Zealand. We have some other people in UK, in the States, in Canada, Australia, and Singapore.
Awesome.
But most over here, yeah.
Nice. I know some other projects that are there and good stuff. That's interesting. So I wanted to ask you some questions and about, of course, BitCountry. But first, I wanted to maybe get into about yourself, some little background. So I wanted to ask you, how did you get into crypto and how did you find Polkadot? And yeah.
Sure. Yeah, very happy to share. I was born in China, the place close to Russia, Vladivostok, to Sea of Japan and North Korea Peninsula. I came to New Zealand when I was 18. My parents sent me over for overseas study. So I finished my study here and worked as a developer for almost 10 years. I was a very quiet person before 2007. I wasn't very good at the public speaking. People usually refer them as a coward. I was like that, where I have a very low self-esteem. But it's through entrepreneurship I transformed myself. 2013, I started my first business called Industry Connect, which is a global education to help people to kickstart their career in technology. Okay. That gave me a lot of confidence because I was the only teacher at the very beginning. Now turned into a team with 30 people, train about 500 people, students every year, and launching their career as a software developer or business analyst, intelligence and developer. So we created a course for blockchain because I was fascinated by the idea of decentralization, perpetuity, eternity of true store of value. I see that's a trend. So we start creating courses there. And that's probably when I officially gets committed to Web3 and crypto. Yeah. But along the way, come back to my journey, because I run education, I got a lot of connections through top students. Most of them are become either employees or co-founders. After 2013, we launched a product called Amy, which is a global childcare management system. And then we launched a real estate business. And then we did a global talent, which is a recruitment business. Now they all have their own CEOs and team made up by my former students. So 2018, I was in San Francisco, January 22nd, attending the China-US blockchain conference. I was fascinated again, but I found the cryptos great, amazing, gave us a new kind of a utopia kind of experience. But we can't use it. It's only use a store of value for trading. Later it's good, for DeFi, but still it's not used on a daily basis. I want to create something that's showing my understanding of people, the world origin and the future, and also gets cryptos used on a daily basis. I also realized it's not possible to do that with our real world because there's a lot of regulations, become obstacles, for mass adoption. So I found this needs and I reached the domain name right on the spot, big country. What I envisaged the big country is a virtual world at the time. Metaverse was not a keyword.
Mm-hmm.
And then something that allow individual to express their freedom. You know, we were made by the free will. And then I think there's nothing wrong to create more freedom, let the people to choose who they want to be, what they want to do. However, our job, our protocol is to push them to produce value for other people. So that was kind of my initial thought and excitement. I'm also a big fan of quantum physics. You know, I read a good book. I love sci-fi, frictions and movies. I watch all of them, but I want more.
Mm-hmm.
I want to create my own. I want to create a project like a trilogy episodes of a cool sci-fi movie, So our Carlos team, like a retail, Betty, Dan, I think you interviewed Dan. They were my friends. We used to work at the same company many years ago. We knew each other for over 6 years. Retail and Betty, we hang out all the time to talk about Polkadot. That's fascinating because we got a chance to create our own blockchain. Whereas if I work for other blockchain, we have to hard fork it, but that breaks my moral code. I want to build from scratch with some open framework. And substrate technology come into play. And we quickly learned that. We even set up the school for Polkadot parity. We trained about 400 developers last year to date. They're currently serving the entire ecosystem. We co-founded the Academy and the Industry Connect, my business, with our Carlos team. And Brian contributed a lot. And our co-founder, Justin, also contributed a lot. So along the way, we joined the Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator, Creativity Structure Lab by Toronto University. And also I was invited for an interview for Y Combinator, upcoming in early December. Yeah, we love Polkadot. The reason being is the long-term project seems to be interesting in getting listed as a parachain because that's a lot of effort, right? We just won the Kusama parachain, basically using our value, our culture, and our vision to convince them to support us. Mm-hmm. And also we see that it's a sustainable ecosystem because only long-term projects builders are here, whereas a lot of noise will be canceled. Yeah. So that's a bit long for your simple question, but yeah, I want to give you all background to the community in Spanish. Yeah.
For sure. That's incredible. I loved how you deep dive into everything. And yeah, I was definitely gonna ask you about what I read because I heard that you're a serial entrepreneur and that like you like to build in general. So you just mentioned like you got into education, real estate, software, and all kinds of industries, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of interesting ideas.
Yeah.
But I failed a lot too. Those I failed, I haven't mentioned.
For sure.
But I have a genuine desire to turn idea into action, to try it out. And I feel it's even more rewarding than monetary incentive. As I mentioned, in the early days, I was a quiet person, try to hide away from people. But now I realize what I want. And I work hard on it to make sure, to realize my purpose for the 80 years or 90 years lot of our life.
Yeah. No, that's I really like what you mentioned, that these Polkadot Kusama projects are really long term, and this like parachain slot that it can it can be lost, so you have to keep being the best to deserve that spot all the time. So that's a really cool approach, I think, for the projects. And yeah, I wanted to deep dive definitely into BitCountry. I know there's, of course, one for Kusama, one for Polkadot, but there's also this thing called the Metaverse network. So first, I wanted to ask you, what is BitCountry? Is BitCountry, we know it's a parachain, but what is it? Is it going to be just one metaverse? Is it going to be many metaverses? how does this work?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, Matteo. Big Country Pioneer is short for Big Country Pioneer Metaverse Network. So we have two CTOs, two teams. One is developing the UI that people can use to create their own metaverse. So you can create a Mad Kingdom, for example, for your Spanish community, right? So that's the Big Country part. But the asset management protocol is all inside a Metaverse.network. We call it the Pioneer Network. So together it's called Big Country Pioneer. Whereas on Polkadot, we still have Big Country and Metaverse.network there. It's branded as a Big.Country Continuum Metaverse Network. So that will be called Big Country Continuum for short. You probably want to know what's the difference, right?
Yes, please.
The Pioneer Network, it's just like Kusama versus Polkadot, but we have a more narrative story to tell. It's not just a difference in terms of economic incentives, supplies, policies, and rules. So we see that Pioneer Network and a Continuum is like a reflection on my journey with my co-founders. Pioneer as for the early adopters, those people who trust us before you even see our product, simply a video demo, right? They try to learn our story through our demo or media press. They decide to trust my background, our team's ability. We want to reward them, treat them as early adopters, train them up, grow them inside the Pioneer Network, and then take the top leaders together with us when we launch the Continuum Network on Polkadot. And those people will be incentivized. I did a tweet about, I treated all the near holders of my early employees, could be my students, if you don't mind to call it. Yeah. And I want to build a protocol called grow to earn, whereas you grow community to earn, grow yourself to earn. And during that process, they know how to build a better and thriving community. You as a leader of the community, you know what it takes, what kind of people, what attitude you expect for them to interact with you, right? And those are something we want to educate them. It doesn't matter where they come from or what's their background. Through our protocol, we want them to be a better human being inside the metaverse. We call them meta humans or meta souls, So that's a journey in a nutshell that we want to bring top metaverses and the members to the Continuum, where on Pioneer, there's a small amount of allocation to land and tokens, and they can choose to sell to the new pioneers to join the same journey.
Okay, that sounds really exciting. I love how you mentioned that, well, you're rewarding this pioneer attitude, like you said, putting the skin in the game and being part of the build of this project that it's many parts, including the community is one of the most important, definitely. So yeah, that sounds really, really exciting. So each of the metaverses is gonna have its own token, right? And what is gonna be the function for this? Is it gonna be to buy land, or is it gonna be used for it? Are there gonna be also collators for staking, or what is the function for these tokens? Are they different from each other in each chain?
Yeah, so social token, that's what you're talking about, right? You launch a Mad Kingdom, you mint a token called a Mad.
Okay.
It's not happening on day one. So we look at maybe down the track in a year's time. On day one, everybody need to use near token.
Okay.
The reason being is we can't just let everyone, the governance wouldn't let anyone to just mint a token speculating on day one, right? Sure. So if you want to launch your social token, the first process is to create a metaverse called a Mad Kingdom, bring your fans over, let them become a stakeholder of your land first. So if they own a land unit inside your world, they can participate in the governance. When you grow to a point with more members and your metaverse level, civilization or developments all get to a point, you can propose that I want to launch MAD.
Nice.
Right? And then the near token holders or new token holders will go through a governance process. Can we let MAD to be part of the social token? I mean, if you pass the majority of vetting, will be just like a parachain. People need to vote for you.
Okay.
And then we will include your token inside your metaverse first. So people can buy your NFTs, your digital goods, your land using your token directly. So on day one, you have use cases. So when that TGE happens, you have to lock away, which is kind of a protocol enforcer liquidity that you need to provide between near and the MED. So people get your token on day one, they see value, they have a liquidity market there. Yeah. So again, we try to find a way to avoid kind of scammers using the kind of parachain methodology to creating thriving communities, whereas everybody wins. Yeah.
Excellent. That excited me a lot how you explained it.
One more thing, can I say?
Yeah, for sure.
If you grow up to a certain size, you can create another proposal on the governance. Say, now we have say 2 million followers. Now it equates to say 1% of the total users. I want my members to use MAD coin to pay the transaction fees. And then you pass the proposal, and then in the future, people can use your token to pay the transaction fees on the Metaverse network.
Nice.
And you become native citizen, native Metaverse.
That's incredible. So pretty much anyone can build something like their own virtual country and customize it and then mint their own currency.
Yeah, that's all the possibilities. However, they need a journey, right? You need to grow, to earn, to thrive. For sure. And then your Metaverse it's a mirroring your culture, what you're thinking as a leader, country leader, or a community owner. You're likely to put all the language in Spanish or create your own language. You create your own incentive rules for people to grow, to earn. You can have your own sky, either it's a blue sky or turn it into art done by some Spanish artist, or even space. Excellent. All the materials like the voxel system or 3D design is all come to you. So in the future, there will be thousands of little metaverses with different culture, different stories, legacies there.
That sounds incredible, definitely. And for example, can the person who's building this, starting this and growing his journey, does he choose how much land space there is? And are there, for example, resources, are they scarce, or will there be unlimited resources, at least at the beginning, or what's the plan with that?
So each network have a limited amount of land, but an infinite amount of metaverses. Okay. So you just need one land block, which is 100 times 100 units, to activate your metaverse, right? The reason being we have a limited supply is for economic cost, storage cost, and we want people focused on build rather than keep expanding their size for no reasons, right? If you go one land, you try to develop it, right? And as a crowd loan participant, we already work out a formula. We will announce that before Christmas, hopefully on the eve or a little bit earlier. Okay. We want users to have a chance to add value to their own community, to build, to receive the compound returns through this investment. So, I mean, if we run out of the land blocks on the treasury, again, everybody near holders, new holders in the future, they can decide, do we need to have another million land blocks to allow, say, 10 million users come on board? If they're happy with that, yes, everything's on chain. We can't really control it. Yeah.
Nice. And will the land be able to, can you rent it out, for example? If you're not a builder, can you rent that land if you own it?
Yeah, there's two models for share ownership, right? One is you have a land you don't want to sell, you can get people to build for you. So they have permission to build it, develop it. Or those people wanting have, because the landowner has a mining power to earn the in-game currency, BIP. Or you want to rent the land to someone. So the ownership is temporarily changed. However, it's secured by the on-chain logic that will be returned when it's due. All right. So whoever is the owner of the land can have the mining power through different games, different grow to earn activities. So yes, you can rent it out, or you can give other people permission to build it. Another third thing I forgot to mention, actually, is 3 model. The third one is that, we have a guild partner comes in. Through land staking, you can only earn a portion of the BIT per production. So the rest portion you need to be mined through different activities where you're busy, man, you don't have time. You have to employ the guild scholars or players to help to earn. At the same time, you created an employment opportunity for some meaningful tasks like grow the community to earn.
Right. And will building will it be easy, or is it gonna require code? Is it gonna be like a no code, like drag and drop thing, or does anyone that wants to build something need to know how to code?
No, there's no code. I'll talk about code later. You can. What you do is we have 2 building model. One is a voxel, like play Minecraft. Mm-hmm. However, all the material is customizable. You can just click a mouse and build. That's easy, right? Or destroy. Mm-hmm. The second model is that you buy 3D model from marketplace, like even on the Web2 marketplaces, and then you upload them into your world, and you can place the asset on the location. But either way, they consume a large amount of the BIT you mined, right? Because big country want to see that every single pixel is consuming the BIT. That's why we call it big country. Mm-hmm. Again, there's an ecosystem partner called metadojo.io. They are building dozens or hundreds of pre-built, ready-to-use premises. What you can do is in the form of NFT, you can buy or participate in their events. You can select the dojo you wanted, and then you can place them right on your land. So that's the easiest way. The advantage of that is they provide an interior economy inside your 3D buildings, which we don't do. They do. For example, you buy a dojo called a Disco Dojo, and then Meta Dojo Dancer Club NFT card can go in there, dance, and at the same time earn a little bit their tokens. Is again the place to earn. So it's an inside and outside. Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of people do you think will benefit from this? Like, there's a really complex economy that can be developed. Like, do you think architects or 3D designers can benefit from this kind of metaverse?
Yeah, we are recruiting a lot of them in New Zealand and internationally. Firstly, we're creating new jobs, more jobs. Second thing is, when you launch your metaverse, you found this great model, even for your followers, for your YouTube followers, invite them come in to take ownership of your metaverse. And when you grow, when Matthew become a billionaire, they also grow at the same time because they are your stakeholders, right? And those people who own a land unit will have a needs for the 3D creators coming. I want a more sophisticated design for my land because I want to make the Mad Kingdom cool. So the whole country level will grow, my mining power will grow, and my land will appreciate value, and my leader will look up on me,
Okay, so yeah, so there's people that can own land, there's people that can interact, and there's like builders. So this economy, you think it can get really complex, like the real world and beyond?
That's a good question. There will be 2 kind of business relationship, like mimicking our real world, like a supply demand. There's always the truth, right? But traditional job like a 3D artist or even community management. But there will be new metaverse native experience or opportunities, such as mining, grow to earn, etc. So I think it all comes down to supply demand. But what we hear is creating new demand that modern people wanted, or Web3 people wanted, or the future new generation wanted. And we see that trend because I have two sons. You're young, you probably don't have children. Every now and then, they need my fingerprint to buy computer game skins. They don't want the real stuffed guns and toys, Transformers. They don't want it anymore. They want Robux. They want the Fortnite skin so they look cool and they have some functions. They want the stuff like that. So I guess while our technology accelerating on a daily basis, the productivity of humans become less, but they need to find other purpose to serve the community, right? Whereas I believe Metaverse will be the place for them to fulfill their purpose and in this kind of parallel living of life.
That's an interesting point of view. And I think it's incredible. The new generations, I'm young, but the new generations, it's incredible how immersed they are in the internet, I guess, if that's what you call it. But what do you think about brands building their own metaverse? Like we've seen recently that some brands, sports brands, are like building their own metaverses. Do you think they can benefit from BitCountry? What do they win, do you think, if a brand built a metaverse for their customers, I guess, or consumers?
Yeah, that will be inevitable. Everybody, I did a tweet today. I said from this year or next year onward, you will see that all real world goods will be digitized as NFTs in the metaverses, because now it's possible things like cars, even properties. If the authority issued a collection that represent the goods in the NFT form, and metaverse will be a way to showcase their product and give more use cases, right? Like you buy a house in New Zealand, you can't really move it. Whereas if the authority issue a collection and with the interest representing this property, now that your property can be sold inside the metaverses, and then you can place it anywhere. You can add an item to it. But whoever owns it can also claim your real goods in the real world. That would be really, really powerful. So, I mean, we haven't really made a lot announcement. We already have many. Actually, tonight we're making a new announcement. I can tell you guys now. Okay. I think in an hour. So we just raised just $1 million through the private land sale. It's not about raising capital to run a team because we already have enough funding. It's through the partnership that those big brands, they bought our private land to launch a metaverse. Those people are unicorn companies, influencers on YouTube, Twitters, and in China, they are NFT kind of advocates, universities, individuals who are KOL want to launch a new experience there. The one we announced, like a Republic Realm, Ash Wall Street Bets, he got 300,000 followers, wanting creating an Ash Army world in big country to educate the public about the cryptos. Yeah, it's amazing. And yeah, I'll share with the announcement today, and actually we make that open for everyone to apply for grants, apply for a Metaverse Foundation grants, private land sale if they meet the criteria, so that we look at launching. When we launch the project to the public, we would have secured 2,000 ecosystem projects.
Nice. That's I love that you're planning ahead and securing these partnerships and getting people invested for the long term. Definitely. And what about collaborations with other parachains? I know I read a little bit that maybe Remark is gonna launch a Canario metaverse maybe inside BitCountry, or what kind of collaborations can you tell us about, or do you plan to have any?
Yeah, I mean, we are an open network, right? We can't stop people building on our blockchain, whereas as long as they buy the tickets, which is our near token. Yeah. But generally speaking, we are not building everything. Whoever already built something, we want to be compatible or work with them, right? Because we will parachains, and there's no point we do everything on our own. We want the ecosystem partners. That's why we started the Metaverse Foundation. And you know, we work with the. I talked to Bruno. I talked to Manta's founders, Moonbeam's founders, of course, Akala founders. Akala founders actually are our advisors. Okay. And the Zeitgeist. There's a. I can't remember all of them. So if they have a service that can benefit our token holders, no brainer. Come on. And if we can provide service to their community members, yes, let's do it. So that's a more meaningful two-way communication, two-way relationship. So that's our principle. For our partnership, that we have to think we can add value to them, and then vice versa, they can add value to our token holders, and then we can marry up and do something. But we are in a very early stage. We've been building this for 10 months. Everything you saw, including the blockchain and the UI, is pretty much done with the last 10 to 11 months. We have a great team here. Co-founder are very committed, working late, want to give this out. And the good news is that our blockchain just passed a security audit led by Justin's team. That means we can go live on Kusama every now and then and then start enable the transfer. Yeah. And we are proud that we can do that. And we add value to the whole Metaverse name. We're also lucky that we secured a domain name for the Metaverse.network too.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. That's an incredible, like you said, with Facebook, the hype of the Metaverse word is like resounding everywhere, but a few people were putting attention and before that. So definitely legendary domain.
Yeah, I mean, we have this idea and passion for a long time, since January 22nd, 2018. But thanks to Mark Zuckerberg, announced the Meta.com initiative to educate people about this is the trend. And I'm so excited to see that. We even published a press release respond to this Meta.com event to position what is our expectation of the giant's role and what's our position, right? The key message is that Metaverse will be the new trend. And I certainly believe that's the next big thing. And that market is immense. It's up to your imagination. It's not even a blue ocean. It's an open universe of infinity. So we are not competitors, just as if all the sci-fi movies are kind of like in the same kind of genre, right? And there are lots of fictions from the Lord of the Rings to Narnia. They will have a different narrative story to tell. We simply just focus on our story using the decentralized technology, open metaverse concept to enable a perpetual world for individuals or community owners to launch their own world. So we have different stories to tell, and that's different, and the missions are aligned actually.
And do you think we're still early in the metaverse race or in the metaverse expansion?
Very early. Today's metaverse, even our UI looks pretty cool, and some of the UI looks pretty cool. It's like a yahoo.com in 1995. So I think at this stage, metaverse should focus on their economy, power, which is governance, and a relationship, love stories, legacies. That's our focus to make those become native inside the metaverse, which is different than a Web2 network or in the real world. However, the visual effects is very important. That's why accessibility is also important. Our work can be loaded up in 3 seconds with a good visuals. But to get to the next level, we have to use something more advanced, like a desktop application using Unreal Engine, human technology, right? There's something that I haven't got a chance to change yet is the VR technology, as well as the possible Neuralink technology initiated by Elon Musk. If we grow to a point that we have enough resources and funding, I personally want to try that out too, to push that forward, because it's the fundamental to provide the real, true immersive experience through those physical limitations.
Yeah. So you think right now is like the community and like the education part, but do you think as well that the hardware is not yet to get us immersed enough in the potential experience inside the metaverse?
I got our key team members each Oculus 2. All right, we checked out our thing. It's pretty good actually. It's pretty immersive. Mm-hmm. If you see a person dancing in front of you, your heart starts beating really fast. So, but still, to the Ready Player One scenario, they need a Neuralink, I believe. The physical thing, there's still a gap between your human eyes to the screens. They need to be plugged like a Matrix. The Matrix movie scenario. I think the Neuralink technology is promising. I also heard in China, there's a company doing R&D to intercept our nerves between eyes and brain, to inject some signals there to help the blind people to see things. Well, if that happens, man, we probably don't need to go outside.
Yeah. The potential is incredible, definitely. I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen in the next 10 years. It's gonna be mind-blowing, I think. What do you think about, can the metaverse get along also with augmented reality, or it's more like virtual reality, like completely out of the real world as we know it, right?
Well, I mean, it's actually not hard. Like you have a property, inside your metaverse in big country, and then you see, through some applications, you want to see that real property, next to a waterfall in the real world. Yeah, so I think that's possible, but it's really come down to the application. What's the use cases?
Okay, and what would you say is what excites you the most of the future involving this metaverse bit country and the whole niche that's right now expanding?
The things that keep me excited every day is actually the new native experience I'm creating. I have a concept that's already being developed called a MetaSoul. So that allows you, your avatar, which is your parallel identity in the metaverse, have one or many multiples different identities in the form of a gender difference or a nationality or even creatures like an alien or cyborg. And then your MetaSoul avatars identity with the other MetaSoul avatar identity could have some kind of relationship. So this doesn't exist in our real life, right? Which will be driven by economics and metaverse native feeling. Because one thing I want to do is in the metaverse, because it's blockchain based, has a sense of perpetuity, right? I can leave a will for my future generations, for the loose families. My fifth grandchildren can unlock some tokens or NFTs through this contract in, say, 150 years later, right? And then through my avatar and the MetaSoul concept, they can get a chance to meet me through the machine learning technology, I trained for this matter. So one side of my personality and story can be told again to the future Lu's family. So that's something I'm very excited about. I'm actually writing a lot of design notes at the moment in the night. That's with some wine. That gets really exciting. I feel like I'm just writing a fiction book, but soon to be executed.
For sure. What was fiction is now becoming the reality in many cases. So I'm excited to see that. Well, I wanted to maybe start wrapping up, but I wanted to ask you about, so we know you already won your slot for a parachain on Kusama. What are your plans for now? When do you plan to have something released next? And when do you plan maybe having a parachain on Polkadot?
So our Metaverse network just passed the security orders by a company called Slow Mist. We will release we're very busy right now with a lot of events. So we release the Kusama parachain in a few weeks. We'll go online because it's already. For Polkadot, we'll already decided to participate in February next year. We want to secure a slot. And then, the journey from pioneer to continuum were taking place when we launched the UI. We haven't got a date, but you see the products as per ready in alpha state. So we want to make sure it's secure and performant, be able to handle, concurrent users like up to 100,000 users. And then we'll gradually release the feature. So the journey will be like a protocol genesis, land formation, development, more activities, and thrive development. So that'll be gradual release. At the same time, people understand, because from your understanding, it's quite a big, complex economic system. But we want to take that journey, and I hope that journey will also make the market react well too, because people can observe it.
Excellent. Well, I'm super, super excited to see what's coming. I'm definitely a guy who likes to wait and see the technology and let it evolve, because I know it's forever upgradable. So I'm really excited for what's coming. And if you maybe want to share something with the audience, I wanted to ask you, where can they find more information? Where can they follow you on social media or find resources?
Sure. Well, again, thanks, Matteo, inviting me here. It's really exciting to share what we do and our plan and our stories and the future to the wider Spanish community. I really wish I can speak Spanish, but I only know hola, gracias. I love Spanish food, and we have a lot of friends in New Zealand actually from Spanish cultural background. I have a lot of ambassadors from Latin and Europe. So we love the community. They are very positive. They are very encouraging. They're very passionate about what we do. If you want to learn more, join our Discord channel. The link can be found on bit.country website. And if you wish to get involved more, join our ambassador program, because we have a good plan for them, because we're going to create our own world, inviting the ambassadors to be inside our own world. If you're want to, in terms of interest in the investment, you can look at our public events coming very shortly. I don't think people have a chance. Our Polkadot will be happening in February 2022, where you can lock your dots, that nobody can run away. Then in return, we give you something, or give our new token, plus maybe again a mysterious gift.
Okay. Incredible. That sounds awesome. Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure, definitely, getting deep into the project and knowing you. And thanks for your time again. Next time.
Thanks. Keep in touch. See you in the metaverse.
Yeah, see you in the metaverse.